So for this video, I'm going to show how to create the jump server. It's kind of continuing off of the overview video. And I'm just going to create a virtual machine just called target VM. And that's going to be what we want to, jump to. So first, after I do that, I'll create a second virtual machine that will act as a jump server. So, and they're going to be, in the same VNet. They're going to be in different subnets. And, I'll open up 3389 on that, so then you could, a remote user, whatever, connects via the internet, wants to use target VM resources or whatever else, connect to it, it has to go through the jump server first, and then that'll do it. So anyway, let me just create Windows Server. I'll come back after I fill this all out. Alright, so target VM, East US, blah blah blah. I'll leave RDP open. And networking default's fine. I'll create a new virtual network, but I don't want the public IP. And if you already created one, then what you do is just you click its virtual network, you click the NIC, you click IP configurations or networking, whatever. Yeah, IP configurations. And then you click the IP config, and then you click public IP address, and you change it to disabled, and you save. So that's what you would do there, if you already had one created. So let me create this and come back to it, because we're going to need to add a second subnet. I'll show how to do that. Alright, it's ready, so let's go to it. Let's go to its VNet. Let's go to subnets. Let's make a new subnet and just subnet A, whatever. I'll leave the address space, address range, fine. Alright, so now let's make the jump server. So I'll come back and explain what I filled out here. Alright, so keep it the same location, whatever. And it's Windows, so it's port 3389. All we gotta do is make sure it's the same VNet, yep, but we don't want a default. We want a different subnet, so subnet A, and we are creating the public IP address for it. So review and create, and I'll create, come back. Alright, it's ready, let's go to it. Let's go to networking and look at the RDP rule, and it's not secure being open to everything. If you want to, you could change the source to IP address and put in, the client workstation or whatever that you're trying to use to connect to the jump server or to other virtual machine. I'll leave as any, I'm not going to put mine in, but let's change the destination to this jump server. So we're going to need its private IP address. Of the jump server, and we could just use /32, and let's save that change. So like I said, if you want to be more secure, you could even change the source to be 1, but I'm just gonna leave it open to everything. So now we have that rule in place. Let's connect to it. So I'm gonna come back after I'm connected. So while that's connecting here, let's get this private IP address, and let's actually change the RDP rule for our target VM. So networking, RDP, change source and IP address, and put that in. Oops. And if you want to be even more granular about the destination for security, you could do like virtual network. So from multiple connections that are coming from the jump server, if you have multiple virtual machines in this virtual network, that's what you would do to put destination. Okay, so basically if you have multiple virtual machines in this subnet, to accept connections from this jump server, that's what you would put virtual network for. So let's save the changes. So now let's actually test out that the jump server is able to, use RDP into this target VM. So get the private IP of the target VM, go into the session of the jump server, open up remote desktop, put in that IP address, the private IP, connect, put in that info you used to set up, and come back when. Alright, so now we're RDP'd into it. So basically we just set up a jump server that's the only one exposed to the internet, and then we're able to connect to other virtual machines inside of that virtual network that the jump server is a part of. They're just in other subnets, and so it's acting as like a shield for the other virtual machines by being a jump server for them. And that's increasing security for the other virtual machines because they're not being exposed to the internet. Only this jump server is. And so that's jump server.